Hey listeners, I wanted to do a video where I'm focusing on why I don't like the Quarry and why I like Until Dawn more than the Quarry. I have tried to make this video about 3 to 4 times by now, and I keep talking over myself, talking too fast. I'm basically mixing up my words, or some events I'm not getting right, and I'm just like, I was gonna give up, but I'm not gonna give up this time. I just want to make this, no matter who watches it or not, I'm making this for me and for everyone out there who wants to view it. Please gladly leave a comment down. I just want to talk about this. So, anyways, let's get on with the mess. So we're beginning this tomfoolery with the characters. That's one of the reasons as to why I don't like the Quarry when it comes to the Quarry versus Until Dawn. So with the Quarry's characters, they're not as developed as I feel like they should. I feel as though Until Dawn has basically better characters. I feel like their characters were more thought out. Their characters were put with more care. Like someone actually made it because they want to make them really good and not because they felt the need to make them. The Quarry feels like the creators of both these games felt like they needed to make another game that was like Until Dawn. It's like all their fans were telling them, hey, I want another Until Dawn like game. And so the creators came out with the Quarry, which was a watered down bootleg version of Until Dawn. And if I'm gonna be completely honest with you, they try to make some things different, like the setting being during the summertime instead of what seemed to be winter in Until Dawn. They also tried to make the characters younger too, because in Until Dawn, a lot of those characters, they're college students. The oldest is Josh, and he's like what, 20, 21, but even he's like still college student age, so they're still young, but they're not like in high school still. There's only like 3 characters who are still in high school, and they're like seniors, right? In this one, I think they're all around sophomore to senior grade ages when it comes to like school, high school, and all that crap. But yeah, they try to differentiate some of the things, but it's still similar enough for me to even slightly compare them. There's still enough similarities for me to say something. In the back, I got my arrow in, so that's probably what you hear. I'm going to be a little bit louder. So anyways, we're going to start it off with Laura. Laura, to me, is like the character who's a mix between Sam and Mike, or that's what they try to make her like. They try to make her like the main character by having more focused and having her have a little bit more, I guess, personality. Not enough, but and they try to make her seem like the badass type, like how Mike was, by having her like come in the thing and reveal herself to the whole group of the kids with like an eye patch on, only having one working eye, and I think a shotgun. Yeah, they try to make her cool basically, and I don't really like her. So the reason why I didn't like her, starting off, it's kind of like how with Mike, I didn't like Mike at Until Dawn, and I have some respect for him. I still didn't like him talking with, but with her, I just don't like her at all. Okay, so it starts off the thing where she's trying to become one of the counselors and work at the summer camp with her boyfriend, and she's going into the studies of animal care, becoming a veterinarian, all that, and she wants to the school to become, I think, a nurse for the summer camp. I said school, oh my gosh. She went to the summer camp to become a nurse there, I guess, with her boyfriend. Her and her boyfriend are broke, right? They decided to come to the summer camp at night and stay there because they're broke and they didn't want to go to a hotel. They already traveled all the way there, and they're thinking like, oh, Mr. Hackett may be there. He may be able to let us in and, take pity on us and let us stay here, and then we can work on working here in the morning, right? So they are stopped by a policeman who's creepy, and he's part of this family that doesn't like to speak or tell any information to anyone. They kind of they're creepy and they help, but they don't say shit, and it's irritating. Especially important events, they need to fucking say something and they don't. But anyways, he's a policeman there. He's warning them, being like, hey, there's a hotel. He even tells them where the location of the hotel is, and they do not say, hey, we can't afford this hotel. Their pride gets in the way of them saying anything, and so they proceed to still try to go to this damn summer camp, I think. And then something was on the road, and they try not to hit it, and they run into the woods. They don't die, but their car stops working, and I think Laura walks into the woods, and then she's met with a voice, and she can't see anybody around there, but it keeps saying the name Silas. And then she runs back to Max, and I think they walk to the summer camp. This is all from memory, by the way. They go to the summer camp, knock on the door. Her boyfriend literally asks her, did you even call Mr. Hackett, the one over this whole summer camp, or did you send him a voice message? And she quite literally says, what's the difference? Bitch, what the fuck you mean the difference? Like, I can't. It was so stupid to me. I was just like, what do you mean the difference? There's a big difference. One, he hears your voice. He already knows, like, if you call him, he will already know that you're coming there, so he can prepare to have an extra room for both of you, you know, prepare to meet you at the door at a certain time. He'll know. But sending him a voice message, he's over the entire summer camp. He's having to watch the kids and the counselors as well too. He probably has to set up certain events as well and take care of like business on the side, or talk to some of the kids' parents if the kids are acting rowdy. He has a lot of shit to do, right? He's probably not gonna be in his room often enough to be checking those voice messages, like talking with, like, yeah, you know, he'll probably check it, but he won't check it like at the moment you send it. Like, if you send it late as fuck, he's not gonna check it at that time, especially during nighttime and stuff like that. He probably won't be awake to check it, like, if I'm gonna be honest with you. So calling him would have been a better option, but no, she ain't calling. She gonna ask what's the difference. Like, bitch, the boyfriend should have called him. He probably would have straight up called him instead of sending a damn voice message. You can't even depend on her for that. When it comes to the choices in the game, I think you can ask the policeman what's going on, and it depends on it. Laura tries not to be fearful when it comes to policemen. She's more suspicious than fearing him and all that. You can become angry, act rowdy, all that stuff like that. That's later on though. I'm gonna tell you what happens before they meet the policemen again. They go down into the basement part of the summer camp, and they hear a noise, and there's like a monster. It's a werewolf, right? It's a werewolf. Max gets bit by the werewolf. Laura over here is trying to help Max, save him and stuff like that. Then something happens. The policeman comes up. He drugs Laura, well, shoots her with a needle, I think, to knock her out. And then he gets Max and Laura before Max can transform. They go to a cell, and Max is about to transform, right? He can't hold it anymore and stuff like that. And she's just like, what's going on? And then she hears this noise, and Max basically is turning into a werewolf and all that. So they're kept in this cell the entire summer. The entire summer they are kept there in that jail-like cell for a while. Yes, the policeman brings them out to shower, brush their teeth, all that. He brings them in fresh clothes and brings them out to eat, but he can't release them just yet. And it's like, he won't say why. He won't even explain why Max is turning into a werewolf fool. Like, that's how bad the Hackett family is. It's the whole family. The whole family doesn't say shit. This is just how they are, right? Back to Laura. She tries to confide in her boyfriend before he turns, and she gets her eye poked out by him, right? Her reaction to her getting her eye poked out is the most unrealistic shit I've ever seen. I'm not saying that every time something happens to you, you get really hurt, you're supposed to be screaming your like lungs out and whatnot, but her reaction was to hold her eye and slightly jog to the bathroom while blood is tracking her and do first aid on her eye. It's like it didn't hurt. Like, she looked more shocked than hurt. And I was just like, that is weird as fuck, man. That's weird as shit, right? And so like afterwards we don't see much from her anymore. And then, like, you know, this is not in order, by the way, this is just from my memory, how my mind's working, right? First time the group actually sees her is when she has an eye patch on and she has a shotgun after killing one of the werewolves, who was a child, by the way. There's a lot of werewolves, a lot more than I thought. I think there's about like 4 or 5 werewolves in this game. One of them was a kid. She had already murdered them and all that. They meet with the group. She tries to tell them what happened, tells them a little bit of what happened, I guess, and then she goes off to try to kill Mr. Hackett, who's a werewolf, who turned her boyfriend into a werewolf, by the way. She's trying to think that it's like it's gonna help her boyfriend turn back into a normal human if she kills like the one who sired her boyfriend, right? So Ryan, one of the group members, he goes with her to like convince her not to kill Mr. Hackett, because he confided in Mr. Hackett during the summer when he was going through a tough time. So he's like a friend to Mr. Hackett. Mr. Hackett's like his friend. He doesn't want Mr. Hackett to die. Laura's barely listening to this dude. She's just like, I understand, but I don't actually give a fuck. Like, I was just like, okay. And so, yeah, she later kills one of the family members of the Hackett family, and they give up on trying to help these kids at all. Like, they don't care that they're kids anymore. They just go and kill them off. Also, the Hackett family, I keep mentioning them because they're not characters I'm going to be going into, like, depth with. I'm barely going into depth with her, by the way, because I don't really care for these characters as much, man. I remember some, but not a lot because they're so forgettable. But yes, they try to make her the main character a lot, and I could see that, but I just couldn't get the vibe. I didn't like her. I think that's why I just didn't like her, man. Now going on to Max's character. Wait, we're going back. We're going to be looking at this little word thing that says at the bottom. I'll be explaining it. It says Laura, played by, oh, I can't see that name. It is blurred out, but I'm going to just say this description. Laura's excited to spend a quiet summer in the woods as a camp counselor alongside her boyfriend, Max. It's the perfect way to apply her resourceful, curious nature before she returns to her veterinarian, oh my gosh, studies in the fall. For Laura, everything's falling into place. Now we're moving on to Max and Ruby. No, it's Max. Max is her boyfriend. Max feels like he's the nicer, more reliable one. Because he was straight up the one to be like, did you call or did you send a voice message? It's like he knew she wouldn't have called that man. Makes me think like, dude, you should have called the man instead of her. But anyway, he's nicer than Laura is. Even when he's turning into a werewolf, when you become a werewolf, it brings out the more aggressive, worst parts of you. And so even when he was turning, it's like the rudest thing he said to his girlfriend was, she was trying to tell him, come closer to the cell so I can see you. And then he goes up and he's just like, is this close enough for you, bitch? I was just like, it was so funny. That was the funniest moment in the entire game. It was funny as fuck, actually. There were little cute moments in this game, but that was funny as hell to me. It was funny because she was annoying the hell out of him, and he was just like, is this close enough for you, bitch? And then he went and sat back down like he didn't just say that. I was just like, what is this, man? But yeah, with him, he turns in, turns back. Whatever they tell him, he like soaks it up, and like he's still his same self. He just turns into a werewolf, and the rest of the game, he can turn back. The issue is he can also die after he turns back into a human, which sucks ass, because I'm over here just thinking, like, I actually wanted his character to survive. I actually liked Max a little bit. He was kind of cool. And if you recognize his actor, he's from Night of the Museum, one of the movies. His face was so familiar, and I could not pinpoint it. And I found out he was from Night of the Museum, and I was just like, that is cool. His actor that was nice. But anyway, I don't have much to say about him. Other than that, I wish he was in it more. Like, you know, more than Laura. But anyway, let's read this bottom thing right here. Ever the class clown, Max has trouble applying himself and seeing things through, unlike his girlfriend, Laura. Fortunately, his friendly attitude and unfaltering loyalty make them a great match, provided she doesn't get sick of his lack of ambition, which won't cut it if their plan to go to college together has any hope of success. Why do they word this shit in the way that they did? I hate it. It's becoming increasingly difficult to fucking speak that whole thing. But anyways, nah, it's just me. It's probably just me. But anyway, moving on to Emma. Emma is, I guess they tried to make her the mix of Jessica and Emily, but not quite. You could try to pinpoint her as a bitchy character, because something she does, it was like a bitch move. But like, I just don't know. She comes across as kind of like this person who like wants to have this I don't care personality and just hot girl summer. That's what she gives me. She gives me more of hot girl summer than the bitch character, basically. Now, how she is, she spends the summer as a counselor, dating Jacob, one of the characters, right? Jacob sucks. She basically wanted him as a fling. She didn't actually want a full committed relationship with this dude, right? Which I hate, because I know she probably didn't tell him straight up that she only wanted a fling and not a full relationship with this dude, right? But yeah, she breaks up with him at the end of the summer. All that mess happens. Then they go to a campfire. They do like a truth or dare type of stuff thing, that old ass game. And so there can be an option where it's like a truth or dare for her, and I think she's dared. Is it by Ryan? I think Ryan dares her to, someone dares her to kiss Nick or something like that. And then she goes, she sits in Nick's lap. By the way, Nick is one of the characters. She sits in his lap and proceeds to full-blown make out with him. I think she French kissed that man, right? Not man, that boy, right? She French kissed that boy, right? The issue with this is that her ex-boyfriend was sitting right across from him, her ex-fling, and the one that liked Nick is her best friend, Abigail. Abigail likes Nick, right? For Emma to sit in Nick's lap and full-blown make out with him was just childish as fuck and fucked up. Abigail leaves. Jacob also leaves, I think. They both go in different routes to where Nick has to go after Abigail, and Emma, I think, goes after Jacob. So later on, she makes up with Jacob. Jacob's just like, you know, they go skinny dipping and shit, like all that stuff. And she tells him to get in the water. They kind of joke around and whatnot. It's like she jokes with him because I guess he looks good to her, but she doesn't actually seem to like him at all. Not even in a friendship way. She doesn't seem like she likes this dude at all. Like, you know, that's the thing is. So they do that, go skinny dipping. She goes to the other, like, part of the summer camp island thing. And she's talking to her followers, too. She's on, like, what, a fucking Instagram Live or some shit. And she's going through the whole thing. She encountered Max's werewolf, all that stuff like that, right? If she turns into a werewolf, it will show her worst aggressive qualities. Like, she can be egotistical, self-centered, kind of thing like that. But it doesn't show it to the point where it shows it in Until Dawn with Emily. It shows it better with Emily. Emily's incredibly intelligent. And she, like, you know, is resourceful. The problem is that she is self-centered, bro. And it shows it heavily. It not only makes her more annoying, sometimes she'll do something and then she'll want to have somebody beside her, like, you know, do it for her. Like, she almost fell off that side of the damn cliff or something like that, side of the radio station. Emily did in Until Dawn. And Matt saved her from falling, but then she went behind Mac and was just like, yeah, maybe you should go ahead of me. What if he fell? She would not have been able to hold on to him. So that little moment was stupid as fuck to me. I was just like, that annoyed the shit out of me. But that's Emily's character. She's supposed to, right? And if they're gonna make Emma that, they need to make her as egotistical and self fucking centered as they did with Emma in Until Dawn. They need not Emma, Emily. See, even their name is similar. I didn't even realize that Emma and Emily's name is very similar. Oh, that's annoying. Anyway, we're gonna move on to Caitlin. I love Caitlin. I love Caitlin. I think that Caitlin is the character that was most like Sam in a way. She gives me more of a Sam vibe. She also gives me, I guess, a Beth vibe from Until Dawn, but we barely saw Beth. So I don't really even know. But I really like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go back to the Emma part. I'm gonna read all their paragraphs at the end. Just at the end, I'm gonna go back and read all the paragraphs because I dead ass forgot, but it's okay. But I love Caitlin's character. She can work a shotgun very much well. One stupid moment that she did have, though, was like, she showed us she can work a shotgun well and straight up hit her target point blank center, but then she hands the gun to Ryan once some shit pops off and says, hey, go after the creature, knowing good and damn well she's never seen Ryan hold a gun before. None of us have ever seen Ryan hold a gun before. Ryan is the closed off, quiet character of the group, right? He barely speaks, and when he speaks is in he speaks like the eldest daughter off of Bob's Burgers. He speaks like Tina. Like, what the fuck? And you're gonna hold it, like, give a gun to this dude? Like, he speaks like Tina off of Bob's Burgers. He's the quiet one. I would say the Sasuke of the group, but that's like damn near an insult to Sasuke. Like, this dude is not, he's not fit for the job you're handing him. So it's like, that was a stupid moment from her. But otherwise, I really like her personality. I also love her actress too, Miss London Tipton. Oh, Brenda's song, we stand. London Tipton, Brenda's song, we stand. I am all here for it. But yeah, and then later on, she's very much capable. She's very much like independent as well. We see her with Dylan and she's helping them. I love their camaraderie. She holds the gun right, and she can escape from like running away from a werewolf too if you press the right buttons for it. Showing that she's very capable and resourceful as well. I was just like, I really like that about her character, you know? So yeah, I didn't have much to say. A lot of these characters I don't have too much to say about. Only the characters that annoy me the most I will have the most to say. But with her character, I didn't have as much to say because I really liked her character. Anyway, we're moving on to Ryan. I liked Ryan, and then the more I remember the Quarry, the more I just don't like this dude, man. Like, I can't. Though I do have to admit, in some instances, like with Dylan, he does show more of a playful side. He's mostly the antisocial character. I mean, you first see him wearing headphones and being away from the rest of the group. You know, kind of, he just looks ready to go, which is understandable. It did mention later on in the game that he went through a hard time and he confided into Mr. Hackett. So that hard time must have affected him even more than regular because of the fact that, like, you know, he's probably been antisocial. And it probably affected him more. With Dylan, he has more of a playful attitude. They have a little bit of banter. It's actually really nice. And Dylan's flirting with this dude. And I'm just like, I'm with it. Even at the campfire thing, he kind of comes out of his shell a little bit more. You know, they do truth or dare. He can be dared to either kiss Caitlyn or Dylan. I don't know why it was an option for Caitlyn or Dylan for him to kiss them or not. Which makes me think that either he likes Caitlyn or Caitlyn likes him in some way. And I was just like, yeah, that's cool. But I like Caitlyn to be more of that character to where she likes nobody. Like, I kind of like that because with Sam in Until Dawn, what Sam did like Josh, she liked him in a way to where it hinted. It was a very nice hint too. I like that. I like the way they hinted at that. But with this one, I guess it was another hint, like, oh, with Caitlyn and Ryan, Caitlyn may like Ryan or Ryan may like Caitlyn. It's a little bit of a hint, which is cool, I guess. But I hated that if you kiss Caitlyn, Dylan will be disappointed. And I was just like, aw, man. It did low-key feel like this game, like, you know, it baited us into something when that something didn't occur. I'm going to talk about it a little bit with Ryan and stuff like that. Okay, so later on, they meet Laura, and Ryan goes off with Laura to convince her not to kill Mr. Hackett. And Dylan and Caitlyn both will wonder, like, you know, about what's happening with that. Dylan more so, he truly worries about Ryan's well-being and all that stuff, so he wonders what's going on with all that. Also in the game later on, after Laura kills the mother of the Hackett family, they will basically stop caring about the kids. And so Ryan will be stabbed in between his ribs, and he has to literally run away from this hefty, big pig-shaped motherfucker. And they're inside of the Hackett's house. The dude literally says, the Hackett dude named Bob, I think, literally says, you can't run away from me in my own house, motherfucker, and stuff like that. So Ryan is like running away from this big ass dude, and he can't run because he has a knife in his side, right? So yeah, and he can't pull it out because he will die. So he's stuck. And it's like, if he gets away, something happens. I think he's about to die, and Laura could turn him into a werewolf. If she bites him, he has a chance to heal and be kind of like her, but he will run the risk of exploding into a werewolf. So yeah. Then after the end, it's kind of like a hint at the end that Ryan got Dylan's number and some of the facts from Dylan, but we don't get the group coming back together at all. At all. I don't think they ever come back together in full ever again. It's upsetting. I hated it. And I needed them to come together. God damn it. I needed them to come together again, but they don't. It sucks. But yeah, that's all I gotta say with like Ryan's character and stuff like that. It's just, I feel like there could have been more, but they didn't give us more. They needed to, but they chose not to. Anyway, moving on to Dylan. I love Dylan's character, bro. Don't even get me started on Dylan's character, bro. I can't pinpoint who Ryan was like. I can kind of pinpoint who I guess Dylan was like. I guess he was like the Chris of it. I like Dylan's personality in this one. Like, you know, he kind of admits that he's kind of like the jokester part of it. He has a side, but in the inside, he's just Dylan. Like, you know, that's literally what he says. It was cute. I was just like, he's kind of just, he's chill. Like, you know, he's not all jokey whatnot. You know, on the inside he's something different. Like, you know, his personality is different. He's kind of afraid of letting a lot of people know about it, how he really is and stuff like that. And when he turns into a werewolf, I think it even shows, like, someone had hinted at a theory to where he tells Caitlyn to go away, not only to like help save her from him turning into a werewolf, but also because on the inner part, his worst quality is that he doesn't want people to judge him for how he is on the inside, so he pushes everybody away. That was their theory, and I was like, that is so cool. I can see that. But anyways, it's not cool that, like, oh, he pushes everybody away. It's just cool that they gave him that little personality thing if they were trying to convey that in that such way. But yeah, anyways, he flirts with Ryan, not like so obvious to where it's just like, ew, you're basically trying to hop on this dude's thing. But no, he kind of just like, you know, asked about Ryan's phone, and he was just like, so that I could put my number in it, silly. And I was just like, I'm with it. I'm with it. We like this type of energy, sir. But yeah, during the campfire scene where they do truth or dare, he will be elated if Ryan kisses him and all that stuff like that. And I was just like, that's nice. Then we go to the moment to where he is bit by a werewolf and he does the trooper thing, right? Now, the reason why I'm not mentioning what happened with Nick, because something did happen with Nick before Dylan got bit in his hand. And I didn't mention it. I don't even like Nick, like, talking with. So I keep forgetting to, because he's forgettable in a sense to me. But, you know, yeah. But what happened with Nick was that he was also bit by a werewolf. And something happened with his leg. And it looked like they needed to amputate it. And literally the first one to say about amputation was Dylan. Because it looked that bad. Like, it looked terrible. So it's like, damn, will this leg even survive? And so Dylan came up with that. But none of them know how to amputate a damn leg. So it's like, understandable why, you know, they would be like that. But Ryan literally called him stupid. And I was just like, he's not fucking stupid for that. Y'all not thinking, okay? But yes, anyway, Dylan gets bit in the hand. They don't know what the monster is, by the way. They don't know it's a werewolf, right? But Dylan still came up with the idea of, hey, let's cut off my hand. And they cut it off with a chainsaw. Ryan cuts off his hand, right? After the hand is cut off, Dylan will low-key be upset. Not pissed, but like, kind of like, damn, you know, maybe we should have done that. Because he cuts off his whole hand, okay? So yeah, and then after that, Dylan's going to be in a state of shock a little bit. Like, when they get back into the group and Caitlyn looks at him, she's gonna look at him and then looks at his hand and just like, dude, where's your hand? And then he holds up the arm with no hand. He's just like, yeah, it's gone. And I'm just like, damn, this dude is in shock. Poor Dylan. And then Ryan leaves, and then Dylan's even more upset, basically. And I'm just like, that is sad. That is sad. His face, he looks defeated. And I'm just like, oh man, we're just feeling bad today, man. But yes, but his whole dynamic with Caitlyn was cool though. I like the vibe. It just hits. And his dynamic with Ryan was the vibe too. It just hits, but it doesn't go anywhere. It hints at it in the podcast, but like, does it? Like, does it really? Like, I can't. Upset, tired and upset, throwing up and upset. Child, anyways, let's go to Nick. Okay, it's bad to judge these characters off of like their worst and aggressive qualities, but Nick's worst and aggressive quality was worse somehow than fucking Emma's, which is being literally self-centered and egotistical. Like, how can you be worse than that, right? Basically, with Nick's character, Abigail likes Nick. We don't really know if he likes Abigail, but it kind of hints that he does. He kind of hangs out with her, all that. And it seems innocent, right? They even look at him like he's innocent. He's tall. He's kind of like this, you know, soft-speaking character or whatever. You know, they kind of look at it innocent, right? There's slight hints that he's not as innocent as it seems. When Emma kisses him, he not only kisses back in full, she's sitting on his lap, right? He was looking a little too damn comfortable with her kissing him, right? Meanwhile, this is the dude that likes Abigail. So it's kind of like, why didn't you just, hey, I'm not comfortable with this shit? He didn't even say all that. It's whatever, bro. And he's best friends with Emma's ex, Jacob. So I'm just like, or they're just good friends, not best friends. I think they're just good friends. But still, it's like, dude, really? Really? I can't. Anyways, we're gonna fast forward to when something happened in the woods with Nick, and then he gets injured, all that. He already got bit by a werewolf, but his leg was also injured too. And then later on, some parts of the group are winning away. I think it's Ryan, Dylan, I think Caitlin as well, and Abigail and Nick, right? Nick is turning into a werewolf, so his aggression is coming out, his worst qualities are coming out. He basically is talking to Abigail, and he asks, I think there's one option he asks why Abigail doesn't like him, and she can say that she's either scared, I think, or just say he's not himself right now. He's just like, oh no, I'm just good old Nick, good old big dingle hopper Nick. He says that, right? He doesn't say dingle hopper, he says something worse. He says that, right? And Abigail's just like, ugh, why would you say that? And then there's some options where he can show how he really feels about her. He really only got with her because she seemed like the easiest person to get with. She was all like quiet and shy, and it's like he was preying on her so that he could get with her and get what he wants out of her and probably dump her and go away. That's what he was basically hinting at. And that's his worst and aggressive qualities, but it's his true qualities too. Yeah, we don't like that. And people were still shipping them. And I was just like, I can see that. I can understand why you still ship him. However, this made me dislike him. Like, this made me not like his character at all. I was just like, I don't like that shit. It's like, ugh. It's just like, it's giving me the vibe Josh gave me. I'm sorry, I don't know why I keep stuttering. Oh my gosh. It's giving me the vibe Josh gave me. He, in his masked form, watched Sam bathe, right? He had cameras, right? You mean to tell me that he had set those cameras up the moment she got into the bath and put her earphones in? Or did he been have those cameras? Like, you know, I feel like he been have those cameras in the tub, right? And so he was in the room watching her, just enjoying her bath, and then walked out of the room, you know, closing the door and the candles to signal to her that something's off and whatnot. He watched her get out of the tub too. The cameras were still rolling, by the way. She got out of the tub, right? So this is meaning he is filming her getting naked, getting in the tub, and then getting out of the tub naked and then putting on a towel, right? Josh did that to Sam. Sam wasn't even part of the damn prank that 1 year ago, but he did that shit to her. That is creeper vibes, right? Now, Nick is not to the level of Josh, because that was just, ugh, red flags all across the board. However, it did show one of his true personalities when he was turning aggressive into a werewolf, all that. He balled Abigail up and threw her against the wall, right? He balled her up like a piece of paper. He picked her up with one arm and threw her to the opposite wall, right? And Abigail sat up like that shit did not faze her, bro. And then he stands up and looks creepy as hell, like he's really eyeing his prey. He's eyeing his food, right? And then if Abigail decides not to shoot him, right, he will kill her. So yeah. And then there's another instance before this when they first met Laura by the pool where one of the werewolves was killed by Laura. He can like pull Abigail closely. This is when he's turning into a werewolf too. Like he's on the beginning stages of turning to a werewolf. He pulls her closer and is saying mine, my Abigail, in a possessive fashion. Some people think it's cute. No, this was creepy. I was just like, ugh. That's not your girl. Y'all not even boyfriend and girlfriend yet. The fuck? But anyways, yes, that was the thing. Is I'm also, as a disclaimer, I'm aware these are characters. I'm just saying it from how I thought during the game. I'm aware these are characters. They're not real life people, okay? But anyways, I know probably will be comment out there that'll say something off the rocker like, ew, you have this much passion about these characters. Like, no, I have more passion about Until Dawn characters than these characters like talking with. But yeah, anyway, we're going to move on to Abigail. She's the one I think I have the least opinion of out of everybody. She's the shy and quiet one of the group. I would say she's like the him mixed with the Ashley of the group, but I didn't really like Ashley at all in Until Dawn, so I don't really know. She draws really well. She likes animals. You know, she's just nice. She's there, like, you know. All that. She likes Nick. That's an obvious one right there. And like she's basically very innocent. Like she ain't do nothing wrong. We stand Abigail. But yeah, she gets balled up by Nick. It was so surprising, bro. Like it actually scared the shit out of me. I didn't realize that he was picking her up and throwing her, right? And then she sat up and I was just like, that shit funny as fuck. She sat up like she did not just get thrown away, bro. Like I can't, like, what are you made of, Abigail? Like, she was shocked, but like at the same time, I was just like, damn, you should be hurt. My back be hurting at that moment. And then all of that. And I think later on in the game, I haven't seen too many game options where Abigail's still alive after that encounter. So I don't really know too much about that. But anyway, that's where my opinion stops on her. So yeah, we stand Abigail. Yes, Miss Actress from Modern Family. We stand this girl. We stand this girl. She's cool. And Jacob. I probably will have damn near the most to say about Jacob. I don't like this character. He sucks straight horseshit, bro. Like, he actually sucks ass. He's stupid as fuck, too. They brought on... Because in Until Dawn, they try to make Matt the meathead, quote-unquote, of the group. He's very athletic. He's the jock. They kind of were hinting that he's like, oh, he's dumb. But he wasn't dumb at all. Matt was very sweet. He was understanding. Honestly... It would be understanding if he wasn't understanding, because he's literally like boyfriend and girlfriend with Emily, who is very much the most self-centered bitch of the Until Dawn group. But Matt was really kind and understanding, and he was like, he's not dumb as shit. Like, that's the thing is, and he tries to stand his ground a lot, and it's showing that, hey, he's not willing to be bitch made. But in some options, he can be bitch made. So yeah, he had a lot more to him than just the meathead, right? Jacob became the literal meathead of the group. He does one decision that was so stupid, and it makes me think, like, dude, if you don't know how to work a car, and if you don't know how to fix a car, and if you take out something that can be taken out of the car's head or the engine, if you take something out of it, of course, not only is the car not going to work anymore, it's literally like, it's just, there's no way to fix it or replace it unless you get a whole new part that's just like the part you took out. And it's small too. He took out the rotor arm. That thing is tiny. You could lose it. You can easily drop it. Your pocket could have a slightly small hole, and then something happens and stuff like that. If your pocket isn't as secure, it will fall out. God damn it. You can have it in your hand. You're running away. It can fall out your fucking hand. Like... Jacob's stupid as shit for this. He goes skinny dipping. Skinny fucking dipping, right? And it falls out his pocket. His pocket. I think he either had it in his pocket or literally in his boxers too, because he goes skinny dipping and stuff like that. He's literally in his boxers, so how was the rotor arm out of it, right? His clothes are on the dock, so how did the rotor arm get into the water, right? So it makes me think that he put it in his boxers or something like that. I don't know. But yes, it still falls into the water, by the way. He has to go back down and get it. If he doesn't realize it's gone, I don't think there's an option to where, like, I think he has to get it. Or there could be an option where he doesn't. I don't know. I don't remember too much. But basically, he encounters the hunters, quote unquote, or the people part of the Hackett family, and he can get into a trap and stuff like that. He gets back to the other group. He has a stupid discussion with Ryan where he's trying to get the gun to go back to get Emma, right? This man cannot shoot to save his fucking life. I can't. It shows that they had a shooting range, right? Caitlyn shoots the best out of everybody, hands down. However, there's some options where I think it was Jacob can't shoot at all. He's like actually horseshit at shooting, right? He wants to get the shotgun from the other people to go back and get Emma, right? Emma, the one he left behind. I was just like, he's stupid. He's more than stupid. I can't. Even the game didn't like this dude, bro. The game did not like this dude. They barely had him in the game after a certain point, right? Yes, it was Laura Central, so understandable. I get that. However, it showed the others doing more, like, things. They had more actions than he did. More action events, more action sequences than he did, right? So even the developers of the game did not like this dude. Just hated this dude. And I was just like, that's crazy. Like, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. But yeah, I said I would have the most to say about this character, but at the same time, I didn't say that much. I think I had more to say about Laura than I did about him. but I dislike Laura more. Maybe it's because it felt like he was intended to be the most stupidest and probably unbearable character there is. So of course, you know, I see why they made him that way. But anyway, I'm going back to read these paragraphs of how the characters are. For Emma's, it says, Emma is something of a documentarian, capturing and commenting on nearly everything through her phone's front-facing camera for her loyal followers. As a talented actress and enterprising influencer, she runs the campus's drama activities, teasing out the best and worst in everyone she meets. Now, for Miss Caitlin. Caitlin embraces the idea of living out loud, always going toward the fun and never afraid to stir the pot a little. Her amiable nature and ingenuity means she can adapt to any social environment, often allowing her to slip into the de facto role of leader, though she sometimes struggles to express her own needs in stressful situations. She does give me the leader vibe. Caitlin's character gave me the leader vibe the most out of all the other characters, and I like that. I like that they said it as they should. And yeah, I think she was the one to dare Emma to kiss Nick, and that's why they said that. I'm remembering some of it now. Anyway, going on to Ryan. Most won't get what's ever coming through his headphones, but Ryan lives for connection, even if he does lean into the whole brooding, handsome loner thing. Beneath the reclusive persona is the heart of a hero, determined to prove himself to those he cares about. Okay, me rereading this now, but Ryan lives for the connection, even if he does lean into the whole brooding, handsome loner. He does a lot. Brooding, loner, speaks like Tina from Bob's Burgers type, you know. I keep saying it because he does. Oh my gosh, y'all need to watch some parts of the Quarry because he literally does. Anyway, we're going on to Dylan. Campers and counselors alike love Dylan's oddball humor and deep musical knowledge, broadcast daily over the camp's PA system. But beneath the affable, edgy persona of his radio voice, a much different person lies in wait, terrified of rejection. Oh. That was his fear when he was turning into a werewolf. He literally was pushing Caitlin away, mainly because he didn't want her to see how I guess he really is, and to save her life. But yes, going on to Nick. Like many teen heartthrobs, soft-spoken Nick strikes that perfect balance between handsome athleticism and nerdy vulnerability. His fatal flaw is an unwillingness to drop his stoic guard and let people in. Yeah, okay. Abigail. Abigail is so deeply buried in her sketchbook that she can't see how well her artistic skills and kind disposition are appreciated by her peers. Socially awkward, but sweet and sincere, she's dying to find some romance before the summer is out. Ooh. And to Jacob. Jacob is accustomed to being the most popular guy around, despite some self-centeredness and obnoxious bravado befitting your typical jock. Jacob's got a charming streak and genuinely wants his fellow counselors to have a good time, especially Emma. So this says that he's the one that's self-centered and obnoxious. Yeah, he is, actually. Him and Emma are made for each other, but he shows his self-centeredness more than Emma ever does, right? Because Emma mainly just wanted a bit of fun, and she didn't convey to Jacob that, hey, you know, I just want this to be a fling. I didn't want this to be a full-time thing, you know what I mean? And Jacob, she didn't tell him that. So it's like, of course he's going to be clinging on to you. Issue was, Jacob took out that rotor arm so that they could stay there for at least one more night. Not even actually looking up what a rotor arm does for a car. Like, you don't fucking know what it does, so why would you take it out? He's dumb as a... I can't. They purposely made him stupid. I know they did. But shit, you know? But that was all the characters. And in this one, I feel like I couldn't go into depth with these characters I could with Until Dawn. Because I don't care for them. When I was making that video of all those characters, that 1 hour to 2 hour video about those characters, that was from memory. Most of that was literally from memory. And I went fully into some of those characters because I actually remember them and I really like their characters, right? With these one, it's like I could barely say much about them, you know? Even though it sounded like I said a lot, it seemed like I didn't really give a fuck about these characters, and I kind of really don't. So yeah, that's one of the biggest issues with the Quarry. That was 44 minutes of telling the biggest issue with the Quarry. Anyway, we're gonna go on to, I guess, the monster of the quarry, or should we go on to the Hackett family? I don't want to go on to the Hackett family. I don't like the Hackett family. Let's just do the Hackett family just to get it over with. This is showing the mother, the father, and the grandson. I think his name is Caleb. Oh my gosh, I don't know why I paused it. They are part of the Hackett family. These two are the head. This one at the end, he's the grandson. He is a werewolf. So how this game story started was that they were at a festival, basically. Or just like, you know, a theme park of some sorts, right? And they were seeing a circus part of the theme park that had a wolf boy that was run by a very elderly woman. She looks creepy as hell. Her skin's gray, all that stuff like that. Inside the cage was a boy who resembled a wolf. And the grandson and granddaughter, Caleb, and I forgot the other name of the girl. I don't remember her name. But there was a grandson, granddaughter. They were trying to release the wolf boy. So they set the thing on fire. I think they were trying to unlock the cage by melting it. But then they ended up setting the whole thing on fire, right? And this seemed to have killed the wolf boy, right? And the witch, I think she left for a moment. Then she came back. She saw everything was burning down. And she was upset, and she ran some blood over her face, thinking it was her, like, I guess her wolf son. And then she walked into the fire to kill herself. And I think she did that on purpose because she's stronger in spirit, and her physical body would hold her back, I guess. I don't know. It was a weird moment. But anyways, how all this happened, the grandson, grandchild, the granddaughter got turned into a werewolf by the wolf boy. The wolf boy ran off into the woods and whatnot. And ever since then, the grandson, granddaughter could turn into a werewolf. All that they explode, their skin pops off of their bodies and it explodes into like a blood, like going around the place. And then they turn into these like people that are elongated and resemble a wolf in the face, but the rest of the body, it has no hair on it. And I was like, I like it. I like how it looks, but it looks a little too similar to the Wendigos. But yeah, that's how it starts. And these two grandchildren are the son and daughter of Chris Hackett, the one who was over the summer camp, right? They turn him into a werewolf. They bite him. He turns into a werewolf. And so every full moon, they basically turn into a werewolf. This only happens on full moons, by the way. It doesn't happen on every night and stuff like that. If it happens every night, that would be a huge issue. There'd be more werewolves, right? So they prepare for that. Chris has to literally leave or basically be tied up in the basements of the summer camp, or just all together go to his house to be tied up at his house so that doesn't turn into a werewolf and kills a bunch of people and all that jazz. But anyway, how are they important to this story besides like all of what I just said, right? So Laura and Max meet with the policeman. The policeman is the brother of Chris Hackett, and he's like steering them away because it's a full moon. They arrive on a full moon where Chris Hackett is turning into a werewolf in the basement of the summer camp. Laura and Max hear a noise. They go down there, and Chris bites Max, turning him into a werewolf. Chris is Max's sire. He turned Max into a werewolf, right? The policemen lock up Laura and Max, and for the whole entire summer, they're just stuck there, right? Then when they escape, stuff happens, and Laura's convinced that killing Chris Hackett will cure her boyfriend, basically. Now, while the kids are stuck there on the day and the night of the full moon, the Hackett family, where we nickname them the Hunters, or I do, they are there to watch over the grandson and granddaughter who are werewolves, and to watch over Chris, because they're going to be escaped and out that night, right? When the group first met Laura, they met her by a pool. She had just got done killing the granddaughter, who was a werewolf, right? So she had just got done killing the granddaughter. Now she set off to kill Chris Hackett. She killed the granddaughter because she thought that was Chris. All the werewolves look alike when they turn into werewolves. So yeah, they no longer look like their human selves. You can't differentiate them. Later on, Laura and Ryan make it to the Hackett family house, and the mother discovers that Laura had killed the granddaughter. The mother is obviously mad. I mean, who wouldn't be? She's the only granddaughter. She's the only daughter besides the mother in the family, and she's the only granddaughter, and they only had two, so I understand, I guess. Laura kills the mother, because the mother's grabbing onto Laura as Laura has a shotgun in her hand. So it's like, bro, or just a gun in general. I don't know the names for guns and stuff like that. So yeah. After this, the father, he's just like, oh yeah, no, we're not doing this anymore. We're not doing this. Basically, the policeman had convinced the rest of the family to leave the kids alone in this, and or help them too, like help the kids if they're in trouble and stuff like that. So Jacob encounters one of the Hackett family members. He is the brother of Chris Hackett as well, and he like smears werewolf blood on Jacob's face so that Jacob cannot be differentiated from werewolf and human, between werewolf and human. But the father, after the mother dies, he's just like, no, we're giving up on helping these kids. For now on, everyone's our enemy now. And like, that's the thing is, like, you know, for now on, everyone's our enemy. So yeah, that's why the brother of Chris Hackett stabs Ryan and leaves the knife in, and then all that. It's full-blown hunting season where they're trying to kill both Laura and Ryan, and Laura and Ryan has to run away from them in their own house, right? Now, in the midst of this, Laura turns into a werewolf after this. Yeah, I think so. There's a moment where it stops and Laura can turn Ryan into, like, she can bite Ryan to heal him. She hasn't turned yet. Laura's, like, the longest lasting werewolf to, like, not turn into a werewolf until, like, straight up after everything, you know? The biggest issue with them in this game is their lack of communication. They don't say what's actually wrong and what's happening. They don't explain to these kids what went on that night and the reason as to why they have to watch over the werewolves and they can't kill the werewolves because those werewolves are part of their family. They don't ever say this shit. Even when Laura and Ryan are right there, they don't explain it. And it irritates me. It irritates me to no end. The policeman, he speaks in fucking riddles when Laura and Max are right there. All because he thinks, oh, they won't believe me or anything. It don't fucking matter. Still try to tell them the truth. It was just stupidity. It was annoying the fuck out of me, man. It was annoying the fuck out of me. But yes, I don't like the Hackett family, like, at all. To be honest with you, their lack of communication killed them. So yeah. And it's the fact that, why aren't you watching your kids? You have two children, right? They're the only children in your family, right? Why is it that they had enough time to go near the cage and try to free this fucking wolf kid, right? Why aren't you watching your fucking kids? You know? And what irritates me more is that I think they were around middle school age too. These are middle schoolers, right? And you still aren't watching them at this theme park, at this circus. You're not watching them at all. Like, what the fuck are you doing? You know, they had enough time to, like, set the whole place on fire some fucking how, right? To release a wolf boy, right? And you let them have enough time like that, right? Like, come on, man. And yeah, you could chalk it up to being like, oh, it was only Chris that was there. But why was it Chris by himself, like, going with his kids to do all that shit? I guess it's because the policeman was busy. But you literally have Bob. Like, dude, Bob is right there. I can't. Whole thing was just so dumb to me. I literally can't. But yeah, that's the other problem with the Quarry that I just really didn't like. I also can go to the werewolf. I actually like their transformation. Let me go to a werewolf. Now, I put this on extremely bright because I can barely fucking see them. All the images are dark. This is what the werewolf kind of looks like. So they still have human qualities, but you can see the mouth around it is like kind of, their fangs and mouth is kind of like the snout of a wolf. The eyes are also kind of yellow. I guess they try to resemble a wolf or a dog. And so the ears are kind of pointed. But there's no hair, as you can see. It looks so gross. Ugh. They're covered in blood, by the way. There's barely, and if there is hair, like right here, it's barely any hair. So they resemble between like a human and a wolf. Like, you know, the transformation between there. That's why I like it. But what I don't like is how they're so big and their arms are elongated like the Wendigo monster. You know? Also, though, this is Silas. He's the one that looks the most like a wolf. Like, He looks the most like a werewolf. All the others, they have yellow eyes. His eyes are red. He's the wolf boy of the thing. Yes. The wolf boy's name was Silas, by the way. I don't know why I never said Silas. I'm sorry. But yes. That's why it's just, they resembled, to me, they just resembled, oh, that's not it. That's something entirely different. That's kind of how it stands. It looks creepy. The arms are elongated. Their whole body's elongated. It's a little too much like a Wendigo to me. That's another thing. Oh, I didn't notice this. The little detail with their like legs, I guess, is different. That's sweet. Yeah, that's sweet. But like besides that, yeah, that's also why I don't like it too. And it's like, yeah, they were a danger as well too with it. But the thing I think that made it a little bit more to me was that the family was saving the werewolves because those werewolves are part of their family. So they're basically trying not to kill them, right? Now in Until Dawn, the Wendigos were truly a threat in that, like, you know, only way you could truly kill them was to burn them alive, okay? With the werewolves, you can kill them with silver bullets. The issue is you'll be killing them and then they turn back into human. With the Wendigos, they don't turn back human. They can't turn back human. So it's like, you know, they're truly monsters. With this one, it's like they really are just human until the full moon. So yeah, you know. Oh, what is this? Is this fan art? Oh. Ew, what the hell? Okay, it's Dylan and Ryan, and it's saying, hey, need a hand. Is Dylan's severed hand. He's holding it. That was just terrible. That was a horrible joke, man. They draw really well. I'm gonna have to go back to Pinterest. But anyways, that'll be it for this video. Some of the things, or just basically why I didn't like the Quarry compared to Until Dawn. And that's it. Hey, may peace be with you for an eternity.